Welcome to the Hansen Home Interactive Repair Show, where leading home expert Sean Hansen will offer his 40 years of experience to repair any problem in your home and ask you to learn how to do it yourself. Most repairs in the home are easy to fix if you know what you're doing, and this show will teach you and show you how repairs are affordable and easy to do. The show can be seen on WWNNradio.com and will ask you, the consumer, to call in at 888-565-1470 with any questions you have to make repairs in your home. Sean Hansen is the owner of Florida Air Force AC Repair and can bring home repair prices down to levels you have never heard or seen before. Let's get to today's lesson. And don't forget to call in with your home repair questions at 888-565-1470.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am back. I'm here to help. I'm waiting for your calls. I'm very interested in trying to help you out. I want you all to just pick up the phone and don't be afraid and ask away. Got quite a few things to go over with you this week, today actually. First and foremost, a very good friend of mine, David Levy. He's on Tuesdays from 5 to 6. That's for our Caregiving Reality Hour. We love our seniors. Please call me, seniors, if you're out there. Don't hesitate. That's what I'm here for, 888-565-1470. If you want to watch me, because I'm so good looking, WNNradio.com. I'm here for you. So I am ready for the calls. While I'm waiting, I'd like to go over a couple of things with my viewers and friends here online and out there on the radio show today. Maintenance contracts. I've been hearing quite a bit of information about maintenance contracts and maintenance inspections. Well, to be honest with you, if the maintenance is done in the beginning of the season properly, a maintenance contract, depending on the extent of the maintenance that's being done, can be warranted. I'm looking at quite a few things here I have that have come to me in the mail regarding my competition out there, and I'm just looking at all these absorbent numbers, and most of which I'm getting are just inspections. I mean, if you'd like me to come out and you want to pay me $180 to come out and take a look, I certainly will. Just open the closet and I'll come out and take a peek and we'll tell you you're good. What you need to do, seriously, folks, is you need to have somebody who's competent come to your home, open the system up with you there if you'd like, and go over absolutely every operational piece that's operating in there. I want you to witness the water draining out, the drain line, the safeties, the things to be advised about. Not just an inspection, because an inspection, as you know, is just a visual. I want to put my hands on it. And to be honest with you, when I'm done, we're going to know what's going on. And there's, I'm sure, a lot of people out there who are doing the same. But most importantly, be careful with these maintenance programs. I would say if you're really concerned and you really want to keep up with your equipment, reliability, twice a year. Starts out summer months, and you want to go ahead and then have the fall or the beginning of the cooling season, the cooler season, have them come out and check your heating system to make sure it works. Again, we don't need it as much here in Florida, but again, if you do need it, it would be good to know that it's operation and functional rather than calling someone when it gets really cold. And as you know, it's been getting pretty cold out there. So that's something to definitely think about. A lot of other questions I've been getting are, where do I set my thermostat? What's the right temperature for me? My personal philosophy is that everybody's different. Every body type is different. Everyone has a different tolerance to different temperatures. Usually it's the husband and wife, as myself, constantly have a problem with setting the thermostat. One likes it cold, the other likes it hot. If you have a programmable thermostat, my recommendation is this. Keep it all your time cycles that you have a 4-degree temperature differential between your settings, and you should save money. If you're leaving the house and shutting the unit off in the morning and you're coming home at night and you're putting it to 60 or 70, you're going to pay a lot to cool that house. I would definitely recommend that you let the system run when you're not home. I'm not saying freeze out the house, but again, the main function of cooling is dehumidification. So we want to wring out the water and dry out that humidity and get you some cool, dry air in that house so you can relax and be comfortable. Another thing I'd like to mention really quick while I'm waiting for my phone calls to come in here and we choose one. If there's anyone out there who's in the business who would like to be a part of our show, we would love to have sponsors. I'm always looking to have interesting people with me. I'm looking to have hitters with me that are honest and logical. You can call our producers at 866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422. As you can imagine, our numbers are up. We're getting quite a few, a lot of recognition, let's just put it that way. And I'd love to be able to help out more people in business that are looking to help other people as well. I'm going over just some of my notes today that I just want to get through these things before I get tied up on the phone. Big concern today is air purification. Well, I mean, I've been around the corner and I've met the guy who invented the UV light. I've been around and met quite a few different companies and traveled in Manhattan and looked at different types of units. And I will say this, one word, air probe sanitizer. UV lights are nice, but if they're not advertising and creating something called hydroxyl, they're not effective. You might as well just put a light bulb in the system. And the logic behind this, or the idiotic logic, is that if we put a light in a dark space, mold won't grow. So that in itself is something to be aware of when they're telling you they're going to throw in a air probe sanitizer or an air probe duct cleaner. Make sure it is a sanitizer and it creates hydroxyl. Very imperative for the system to run properly when you're putting something foreign into the unit. As far as filters, every month if you're buying them at Home Depot or another store, or one of your, more of your HEPA filter, if you're looking at going with something every 6 months, then you want to change it, twice a year. It depends on what how involved you want to get with your system. Another question I've been asked to go over with you all is registers, the grills. 9 out of 10 customers that I service, for the first time that is, when I observe and I go to their homes, I'm looking at their grills. What I'm finding is that they're not set up properly. You really want to have somebody calibrate and set these grills so that you're getting the proper airflow. If you're shooting the air straight in the middle of a room and the room is not getting air in corners, it's going to cause the system's efficiency to be off a little bit. Something I would definitely recommend is when your company's there, whoever it is, ask them about your registers. Do you adjust them? Can you advise me? Where should they be? How much CFMs are they supposed to put out? Really question them. Let's find out who's in your house. Let's find out who's doing the actual work. Let's test them a little bit. That's what I say. Once again, I'm at 888-565-1470. If you want to watch me, WNNradio.com. Clogged drains is another big issue. I've been hearing quite a bit of calls with this rainy weather. People are calling, and we've been doing quite a bit of drain reconstruction due to the fact that these drains are buried in mud, or they're outside where they're going to basically fill. What we've been doing is extending them a little bit and getting them out of the water and causing them to not fail for you. Again, my job is to help you. One of the things that you'll find is that we'll reduce odor that way as well. Those lines are not pretty. I mean, what's in them is pretty hectic. So clogged drain lines are very popular today. They're number one call of mine. Again, we've been cleaning them out, adjusting them. So do me a favor, people, please do not put bleach in your drain lines. Do not let anyone put bleach in your drain lines. There are alginators and there's all different types of products out there, but you don't want your house smelling like a restroom. So please don't put Clorox in your systems. If anything, the most logical thing to use would be, believe it or not, peroxide. I think it's very, very effective. It'll be very popular soon now that I've mentioned it on the radio, but you will see that peroxide is going to be one of the choice chemicals to use in your drain lines. One of my other areas that I have to go over today that I just things that are on my mind are again, I can't stop talking to you about this, is the coercion I'm finding out there. I mean, the customers are being pressed and basically being convinced to do things that aren't necessary or needed. However, they do appear to be something that can be repaired. If it's not broken, people, don't fix it. As you know, when you fix one thing, other things can fail. So really be careful. Be advised that when they tell you they want to replace something, I would say, is it working? Is it functioning? Of course it's functioning. I wouldn't be here. I mean, the system's running. I'm doing a startup. Everything's fine, right? So why do I need to replace it? Ask them, what's the purpose? Well, if it's going to break in 6 months, are you a fortune teller? Can you tell me that? Can you be sure? I didn't think so. So don't let them tell you and force you into doing something that isn't needed. I'm really set on that. I got to tell you, I'm kind of a little disturbed on what's been going on lately because of the lack of business that's out there for some companies. They're really trying to press the customers. I'm going over my list here. I've did my temperature. I hope you all understand about your thermostats. The proper ways to set them, like I said, is 4 degrees between your cycles. So if at 8 o'clock in the morning it's set for 78 and you're leaving the house at 9, 4 degrees in between the two settings and you'll be fine. If you're going to be home for most of the day, you leave it at a comfortable level. If you're not going to be home, the max I would say is 8 degrees off of your current temperature. Your grills we've gone over. Air purification. If you have any questions, a lot of people need to know about air purification. Odors in the house. Most of your odors are coming from your evaporative coils. If you have an odor, an inspection will not reveal the issue. What will reveal the issue is a physical head in the unit look. Physically get a light and take a look in there and see what's in there causing the odor. Most of the time, again, it's related to the condensation drain and the foreign debris that's collected, as everything we aspirate, for the most part, is what's going on that coil. So you can only imagine what we're pulling out of there. Again, don't put bleach in the drains. We don't need any chemical reactions going on. I'm going over my list one more time here to be sure. I'm checking out my, duct cleaning. Very big, very popular today. I've done it. My company up north has done it for many years. We did it in the beginning. If you notice, all of the ducts in the pictures, if you're looking at pictures of before and after, are metal. I don't know how anyone could physically clean the ductwork that's here in Florida without destroying it. I just can't see putting a 2000 CFM vacuum in the system. If you're using flexible duct, it's going to collapse. It's going to create more issues for the customer than good. If you need your ducts cleaned, have your local contractor call my company. We're going to come out and we're going to vacuum your ducts. We're going to clean everything the right way, by hand. If there's ducts that are really impeded, we're going to replace them for you. I'll recommend that you replace them, which is all something that we can go over, of course, if we were to meet. And you can contact me at 561-234-9599, and that's my office number, 561-234-9599. And for the show, once again, we're at 888-565-1470. And I'm just checking my list one more time. I don't want to leave anything out for you all. And I'm going to step away for just 1 minute. Thank you.
Florida Air Force LLC is a uniquely different air conditioning company. We maintain a professional approach to keep our clients satisfied. When you want to deal with the best, choose Florida Air Force LLC. You will hear words like accountability, not probability or possibility. We offer the best of 3 generations in this industry. There is only one way to find out. Call Florida Air Force at 561-234-9599, and we will conduct a complete maintenance on your air conditioning system. Not a tune-up, but a complete maintenance on your AC. We have been featured on CBS News and continue to pride ourselves as honest and reliable. Call today, 561 561-234-9599 and get your AC equipment working efficiently and avoid costly future repairs. Call today, 561-234-9599, and let's work together to beat the heat and keep you cool. 561-234-9599 is the coolest number in town. You are listening to home repair expert Sean Hansen on the Hansen Home Interactive Repair Show. If you haven't called in with your home repair question, call in now at 888-565-1470, where the information shared is free. Now, let's get back to Sean and see what else we can learn in the huge area of home repair.
Hi there, welcome back to the show. Sean is ready to help everyone come save some money. I think we have a caller.
I believe it's Carrie. Or Carrie.
You're on the air.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm so happy that there's somebody actually on the air and the radio help me with my air conditioner.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being there for us out here.
Absolutely.
Well, I have a question.
Fire away.
I had to get a new air conditioner
Okay.
and replace the whole unit.
Okay.
And the only thing that the company didn't tell me was what kind of filters to put in. Do I have to go out and purchase expensive filters? Do I leave the filter that they gave me, that metal thing, and just clean that and keep replacing it? Or do I have to go out to like Home Depot and purchase those, $13 filters that'll fit my unit? I have a 5-ton unit.
Okay. Well, here's what you do. The unit did come with a basic filter. You can use that for the time being until you look at the user's manual. If that doesn't advise you, you can always contact my office, 561-234-9599. And I can actually look up the model number and tell you what size filter you're going to need. The most common sizes are going to be 20 by 20 by 1, 20 by 25 by 1, 16s by 20. But what I would recommend is that you just look at the user's manual, or you can give me a call and I'd love to help you. But you definitely want to get a new filter in there, and depending on how deep you want to go with your air purification or your filtration will determine which type of filter you go with.
Okay. Do you recommend like purchasing an expensive filtration filter that I have to, pay $40 for? It has like a micro thing that they sell that goes into the air conditioner itself.
Okay, well, what I would say is this. If you have people in the home that have asthma or different ailments, I would definitely recommend a hospital grade, which is called a HEPA filter. And what you could actually do is, cater the filter to your needs. So there's all different types, and we can help you with that as well. Or your local home supply store has different versions. I don't know how helpful they'll be with respect to ailments and what type of filters you'll need. But like I said, absolutely feel free to call me so that I am able to advise you as to what the unit is actually calling for.
Oh, good. Okay. And then the other question I have is, we have a large home, about 3,000 square feet, and we have, like I say, a brand new 5-ton unit, and just one end of the house gets a lot colder than the other end of the house, and I want to know, what do you suggest we do about that? Do I have to put a whole new unit in on the other side of the house now, or what do we do?
Well, here's the situation. Very commonly, and I spoke to this and I touched base last week on this subject, is replacement of equipment. A load calculation is imperative today. What was in there originally is it may not be suited for what's needed today. In most cases, we can go smaller. So we need to know exactly what the load is. And one of the things that I'm touching base on here, and I don't want to go off track with you, but is square footage to me really doesn't mean anything. A lot of our handymen and our companies out here like to do that 500 square feet per ton deal. And I asked them, if you have two houses that are 1,000 square feet, which tonnage do you put in them? And everyone raises their hand. And I asked them, well, what if one of the houses is made out of glass? So there's other issues here that may be contributing to the factor that the other side of the house isn't getting cooling. What I would recommend most importantly, though, is having somebody come out that's knowledgeable and check it out. I would recommend a secondary return is probably what I would recommend based on not seeing it. But if it's truly at the other side of the house, and it's not getting as cool as where the location of the unit is, that basically means it's going to be almost impossible to press cold air into a hot room or a hot area. So the return's job is to remove that hot air. So if you have any registers on your walls in that part of the house, make sure there's no new furniture or anything pressed up against the wall blocking that airflow. It's very important that we extract the heat in your home. That's the process. I must remove and condition what I'm putting back in. I can purify it. I can do a lot of things. But I would most likely say that based on a 5-ton unit and just roughly the square footage you're giving me, I'm going to recommend that we most likely need a return cut in the far part of the house.
And is that a lot of work that has to be done with that, if there does have to be a return put in the house?
Well, it depends. It's I get a lot of calls when people say to me, well, how much does it cost to do this? And you know what? Let me give you a scenario. Let's assume you're a dentist, and I said to you, I need to have a tooth pulled. How much is it going to cost me? Could you see the value, the variables there? Which tooth is it? So. Good point. So my thing is this: where can we run it in your attic? Does it have to be boxed down in a wall? Again, it has to be run from the air handler currently in the house to the space that's not being conditioned properly. So what my expertise is as a mechanical engineer and my crew would do is we have to find a way that's going to be less impeding through the home and less intrusive, and it's going to maintain the integrity of the house. So, the price can range. I mean, it could range from a few hundred to thousands. It just depends on what the obstacles are and how effectively we can get a piece of return safely to that location, and it does its job. Wow.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time and answering all the questions. I really appreciate that. It's nice to have somebody on the radio that is willing to go the extra mile there and help people out there to answer questions. Because a lot of times, like you said, they always seem to charge. I get all those advertisements in the mail that say the warranty, and I just didn't know. So I'm happy that you talked about that.
Absolutely.
The warranty thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And anyone out there, if you have any questions on your equipment, get me on the phone. That's what I do. 24 hours, 7 days a week, most importantly from 6 to 6:30 so that I can help people and others can hear it. That's the key here. So I hope, Carrie, I answered all your questions for you, and I hope you're happy with your current system. If you're not, you have my number, 561-234-9599, and I would love to come out at no charge and give you an inspection and physically take apart the unit when I say inspection, and make sure that everything is installed and running properly. How's that?
That sounds wonderful. What was the name of the company again?
Florida Air Force.
Florida Air Force.
Correct.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the call.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, Sean, I have a question for you. A lot of my friends have asked me, what if, because, air conditioning is very expensive, what if I go and buy a unit from one of these big box stores or a wholesale center? I know a lot of them sell them now, especially the home centers. You can get a train unit. And can I just buy one and then have your guys come out and go ahead and install it for me?
Well, that's a good question. It's a rough question, but here's the situation. My job is to basically support my suppliers and my distributors and the manufacturer. So the process is that I get better prices for you by doing more business with my supplier. The better I do business with him, the less your equipment costs for you will be, and that is relayed to all my customers. It's really uncommon for the customer to buy the unit. Number one, if you're getting a unit online, you have to pay for shipping. Number two, you have a lot of laws and regulations through the EPA that you must adhere to because it is Freon. So some of these systems come pre-charged, so there's a lot of hazardous codes that you need to be aware of. Secondly, how do you think the distributors are going to feel when they know that customers are purchasing and bringing these products in, and they find that you're the company doing the work? So it's a really touchy situation. If you needed help and you have a system and you're really behind the eight ball, I'm not going to turn you away. But I am, I will explain to you how I do it as I am, and we will do the best we can. But you got to be really careful because most of the serial numbers, if not all of the serial numbers on the equipment, go with the manufactured state. So if you run a serial number and it comes up from Michigan, you're pretty much well out of luck. I don't know about anyone else, but I've been in this business a long time, and there's a few companies out there that I haven't had very much fun with respect to warranty information, and I usually wind up eating it and doing the work myself because I need a happy customer. If you're truly in that situation, I would say give us a call and see what we can help you with, but I would rather, if you haven't purchased the unit and you're contemplating it, call me. Let's see if I can help you. I mean, price can't be the only issue here. It has to be the quality of the job, and if it's done and designed properly. What if you order the wrong equipment? You're not going to be able to send it back. And if you do, you're going to pay double what you would have paid to have it installed.
Right, that makes sense.
So it's kind of, I'd love to help you, and I'd love to do what I can for my customers and people out there, but you got to realize if you're a mechanic and I go buy the gas valve and come to your station and you're going to put it in, I mean, you're not going to make as much as you could have if you would have done the part. And how are you going to warranty somebody else's product? Hey, let me just put that pacemaker in the guy. It's from another store.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, it's a really touchy situation, as you can tell. I don't want to hurt anyone. I'm not one that goes to home centers and purchases units. And again, most of that work is subcontracted, and it's not being done. I mean, I always tell my customers, it's amazing how your local home shopping center has 150 service trucks in their driveway with their name on it. They don't. They're not in the business to do service. I am. 3 generations of my family are in the service industry. We're dedicated to excellence. It's what we do. It's what this show has been put on the air for. So you seniors out there and all you people, please, don't hesitate to call me. Use me. It's not going to cost you anything to call in. 888-565-1470. If you want to watch me, it's WNNradio.com. Thank you, and I'll talk to you in a little bit.
This has been the Hansen Home Interactive Repair Show with Sean Hansen. Tune in next week when Sean brings more easy repairs for your home to the surface. Sean has over 40 years of repair experience and wants to share his knowledge with you. You can call his office to get personal attention at 561-234-9599 or call the show next week at 888-565-1470 and he will answer all questions on repairs for your home. Join us again next week for another exciting edition of the Hansen Home Interactive Repair Show.